It was just another sunny afternoon, the kind of day that feels deceptively safe. The traffic lights flickered red and green with a familiar rhythm, cars lined up, their engines humming a lazy, monotonous tune. Intersections like this are the arteries of our cities, but for motorcyclists, they represent the single greatest point of danger. Statistically, this is where the majority of serious motorcycle accidents occur, often born from a simple moment of inattention or a fatal misjudgment. The scene is utterly ordinary, yet it holds the potential for extraordinary tragedy. For one motorcyclist, patiently waiting at the stop line, this moment was about to become a life-changing nightmare. He is positioned correctly, alert, and ready. But in the complex dance of urban traffic, even doing everything right may not be enough. The helmet cam records everything, capturing the scene from his unique and vulnerable perspective. We hear the calm, rhythmic breathing through the helmet, a stark contrast to the impending chaos. We see the steady needle on the tachometer, the bike's engine a low rumble of potential energy, waiting to be released. This is the rider's world, a bubble of focus amidst a sea of potential hazards. Then the light turns green. It's the signal he's been waiting for. The throttle twists with practiced ease, and the bike rolls forward smoothly into the intersection. But another driver has made a critical error. Out of nowhere, a silver car, intending to turn left, cuts directly across his lane, violating his right-of-way. The driver either didn't see the motorcycle, a common phenomenon known as inattentional blindness, or they catastrophically misjudged its speed and distance. In this split second, the laws of physics are absolute and unforgiving. There's no time to react, no second chance to swerve or brake effectively. The space between safety and disaster has vanished. The front wheel hits metal, a brutal, instantaneous transfer of energy. The helmet camera captures a chaotic blur of motion, the sickening sound of crushing plastic and screeching tires, before the world tumbles sideways. And then, a sudden jarring silence that is louder and more terrifying than the impact itself. In just 1.3 seconds, everything changed. For the rider, time would have seemed to stretch and warp, a lifetime of decisions compressed into a single, futile moment of realization. For the driver, it was a sudden, violent intrusion into a routine journey. This is the brutal reality of physics and human error colliding at an ordinary intersection, a place we all pass through, often without a second thought. The aftermath is a stark reminder of how quickly a normal day can become a life-altering event. The cause? A distracted driver, a small misjudgment, and a deadly T-bone collision. The driver's attention was fatally divided, a classic case of inattentional blindness. This phenomenon, often called the looked but failed to see error, is tragically common. The driver's eyes may have scanned the intersection, but their brain, preoccupied, failed to register the approaching motorcycle. It's a cognitive blind spot that makes smaller vehicles like motorcycles effectively invisible. The footage freezes for a second as we look closer, dissecting the anatomy of this disaster frame by frame. You can see it clearly. The car's wheel already turning before the bike reaches the midpoint of the intersection. This is the critical moment of commitment. The driver has made their decision to turn, completely unaware of the impending conflict. They are acting on an incomplete and dangerous picture of the road ahead. The driver never looked, never saw the rider coming. Or if they did look, they didn't truly see. This isn't necessarily malice, it's a failure of perception. The human brain is wired to recognize familiar threats, and for many drivers, a motorcycle doesn't register with the same urgency as a car or truck. The biker was moving around 40 kilometers per hour. Not too fast, not too slow, but too close to stop. At this speed, the rider had less than 2 seconds to react once the car began its turn. Even with perfect reflexes and maximum braking, physics was not on their side. The window for evasion had already closed. This is what safety experts call an intersection crash, one of the most common and fatal types of motorcycle accidents worldwide. Intersections are complex environments, demanding constant vigilance from all road users. They are points of conflict where paths cross, and the margin for error is perilously thin. Over 40% of serious bike crashes happen exactly this way, with a car turning left into the path of an oncoming motorcycle. It's a sobering statistic that underscores a fundamental vulnerability for every rider, regardless of their skill or experience. In the world of motorcycling, there's a fundamental assumption that, if made incorrectly, can lead to disaster. It's the single biggest mistake a rider can make, trusting that other drivers will see you. It feels logical, doesn't it? You're right there, in plain sight. But on two wheels, logic is a luxury you can't afford. On a motorcycle, you are nearly invisible. Your narrow profile can be easily lost in a car's blind spots, hidden by road signs, or swallowed by the glare of the sun. This isn't just about being overlooked. It's a psychological phenomenon known as inattentional blindness. A driver can look directly at you and still not register your presence because their brain is scanning for larger threats, like other cars and trucks. That's the hard truth, a lesson etched into the asphalt of countless intersections. To survive this reality, riders must become masters of observation, constantly reading the road and the intentions of those around them. You must watch for the subtle clues that predict a driver's next move. The slight twitch of a car's front wheel before a turn, a driver's head moving to check a mirror, or a flash of sunlight on a side mirror indicating a vehicle you haven't seen yet. These are the whispers of danger, and learning to hear them is a critical skill. It's about proactive defense, adjusting your speed, repositioning yourself in the lane for better visibility, and always having your fingers covering the brake lever. Those small details, those fractions of a second gained, can save your life. Looking back at the footage of this incident, the evidence of this danger is chillingly clear. The driver's head never moves. Their gaze is fixed straight ahead, focused on the path they intend to take, not the path that is actually clear. There's no eye contact, no last-second glance, no sign of awareness whatsoever. For the rider, this is the moment of truth. You seek that connection, that confirmation that you've been seen. But in this case, the other side is empty. The driver is in their own world. With the car committed to its turn and the rider proceeding with the right-of-way, their paths were set on an unalterable collision course. From this point, the biker had no chance to evade, but against all odds, the rider survived. In a scenario that so often ends in tragedy, this story took a different turn. Why? The answer lies not in luck, but in preparation. His helmet, armored jacket, gloves, and boots took the full force of the impact. Each piece of gear performed its function perfectly. The helmet's outer shell and EPS foam liner absorbed the critical impact energy that would have otherwise been transferred to his skull. The jacket's abrasion-resistant material and CE-rated armor protected his torso and joints from the violent slide across the pavement. His gloves saved his hands, and his boots prevented devastating ankle and foot injuries. This isn't just a collection of accessories, it's a personal survival system. It's irrefutable proof that wearing full, high-quality gear is never optional. It is the last line of defense, the one thing that keeps you alive when everything else fails. Every intersection hides potential danger, often masked by the false confidence of a green light. A green light gives you the right of way, but it offers zero physical protection. It cannot stop a distracted or oblivious driver from turning into your path. So next time you ride, let this story be your co-pilot. Remember the unmoving head of the driver. Remember the silence of no eye contact. Remember the gear that turned a potential fatality into a story of survival. Don't assume they see you. Burn that into your mind. Assume they don't. Assume every car is a potential threat. Assume the driver is distracted, impatient, and has no idea you exist. This mindset isn't paranoia, it's tactical awareness. Ride prepared, ride alert, and never, ever let your guard down. Scan every intersection, cover your brakes, and always have an escape plan. Because even when the light is green, danger doesn't stop. Your vigilance is what allows you to ride another day.